Welcome to Carpe Diem, a podcast about personal finance and everyday life. I'm Jamie Davidson.
And I'm Nicole Jackson from Financial Center First Credit Union. Thanks for spending your free time listening to us talk about how life and family affects us achieving our financial goals.
Nicole, how you been?
I've been doing all right.
What kind of stuff you been doing? Anything fun?
Hitting all the concerts.
Concerts? Oh, I like
concert
concerts.
season.
I didn't go to many this year. I'm getting too old for that, I think. Or maybe too cheap.
Well, I mean, they're getting pricier.
Yeah. I mean, when you're paying, $13 for a soda,
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you if people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else? Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Byte, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Byte clear liners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you could pay with your HSA, FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
Right? On top of parking and the tickets. And
So we got to find a way to save money to go to those concerts.
Exactly. Well, I was looking to see where I could find, some new ideas for saving. And my kids like to say I'm on TikTok all the time, but I think they think any video playing is TikTok.
You went to the TikTok side.
I went to the TikTok,
oh, Lord, have
the
mercy.
FinTok side, actually.
The FinTok side?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Tell me about that.
Well, there's apparently a corner of TikTok known as FinTok, or finance TikTok, that gives everything from day trading advice to tips on paying off your credit card debt.
Day trading advice. I don't know if I'd get that from TikTok, but okay, maybe some credit card debt payment, possibly. Right. I guess I probably should get on TikTok and check some of these things out, I guess, to stay relevant. So maybe
all the kids are doing it.
All the kids are doing it. So that how you get the kids to quit doing it, right? Get the adults doing it, right? Yeah. So did you come up with any facts this week?
Well, I found a few. 61% of Americans don't have enough savings to cover $1,000 in the case of an emergency.
That's scary.
It really is. You don't realize how much $1,000 is until you don't have it.
Right.
So, 38% of U.S. households have credit card debt.
Yeah, they do.
And 33% of American adults have nothing saved for retirement.
Wow, that's mind-boggling. And I know the number was pretty high. I didn't realize it was 33%. Right. But the idea that you have zero saved for retirement, that's scary.
It really is.
It's really scary. So maybe we need to get some people on some TikTok so they can learn some ways to save some money.
Well, yeah, it actually kind of brings it back around to TikTok. According to a survey by Magnify Money, nearly a quarter of those 18 to 40 and 41% of those between the ages of 18 and 24 have actually gone to TikTok to look for financial advice.
Of course they did.
Well, I mean,
I guess. I mean, if it's working, it's working, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I think what you did is you went and you found some of our favorite TikTok items. We looked at them. I actually did go through those with her. And, some trends that will help build your savings account, help maybe your 401k account balances, and your emergency fund or whatever else you need, right?
Right, exactly.
So what was the first one you found?
Well, the first one I looked at is kind of a new take on an old idea, is Cash Stuffing 2.0, or the budget binder.
Okay.
It's exactly like what it sounds like. You get a binder, then you put a bunch of envelopes in it. You fill with the cash for all of your expenses, any other purchase you try to make. So you would divide your income into expenses, and basically label them out.
So you put it in your binder. So it sounds a little bit like the envelope method, which I've talked about in the past, which is, that's where you keep your money organized. in different envelopes, and you put exactly what they're for, whether it's for fuel or groceries or dining out. And once that money's gone, it's gone. But they do this in a binder.
Right,
It
exactly.
sounds like it's probably organized a little bit better than it would be just with the envelopes themselves. Because I would probably misplace envelopes.
Well, on some of those, I was kind of wondering how much they were actually spending on the binders, because it looked like they might have been spending their entire budget on their binders, because they had some pretty
Gotta have some stickers on the binders, don't you?
stickers, and they were like fancy with like zippers and snaps, and it was kind of crazy. But if you want to start this on your own, I would suggest with maybe just one envelope and putting as much money as you can at the end of each month or week, just to start from somewhere.
Oh, that's always fun too, to stuff white envelopes with cash. You'll walk around and like flip it out in front of your family, and so they think maybe you're like a gangster or something. So I like that.
Is that something that you've done in the past?
Let me get this out of my pocket here and throw it down. So yeah, I'm just kidding. Well, I don't know, maybe.
I did that when I went and bought my car.
Did you?
A couple weeks ago. They're like, "How are you paying for your down payment?" And I'm like, "With cash." And I pull out this white envelope from my purse and just kind of lay it down, and it felt kind of weird.
Well, it's funny too, because in the banking industry, we have some rules on how much cash you're supposed to bring in at one time and take out at one time. So yeah, another one we came up with was the end of month savings. And what this is, at the end of the month, every month, put any cash left over after paying bills into a single envelope. So you're not doing a fixed amount; you're putting whatever's left over. Mm-hmm. You got to resist that temptation not to break in. I think a lot of times with savings, when we talk about people saving first, the people that don't save first, they're always like, if I have any money left over. So if you're going to actually use this strategy, you get to the day before a paycheck and you got money left over, put it in the envelope. Don't go out and spend it.
You got to be strong.
Yeah.
The next one that we came up with, we've been talking a lot about like envelopes, but this one I think is kind of cool. It's the last digit savings plan. It's an all digital approach.
Okay.
Basically, you take whatever your last transaction of the day was that you see on your online account, and you transfer that dollar amount of that last digit into your savings account for that day.
Okay.
So if you went and spent $17 at McDonald's, I don't know, so then at the end of the day you transfer 7 over, and that would be your savings deposit for the day.
Okay. So basically take it from your checking account, whatever your last transaction was, and you can decide which number because if it's 17, you don't want to take the zeros, you want to take the bigger of the two.
Right. You take the last digit, or if it's like $3.74, then it's the $4 that you transfer over.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I mean, that sort of shakes it up, so you're not getting stuck in this. It's a good thing to always have this constant savings, but the idea of shaking it up a little bit and doing it a little different at times sort of makes it more fun and exciting, so you're not just doing the same thing every day and so it gets stale, right?
That was a different approach. I hadn't really thought about doing it that way, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Now this one I've heard of before. I like it. I don't know how many people will do it, but I do like it. The idea that you save all of your $5 bills.
I don't get a whole lot of fives.
You don't get I guess I've heard of people doing this. This is really great for people in the restaurant or service industry when they get those tips. Mm-hmm. So if you get a 5, the 5 goes in the savings account, all your 5s. So what happens is you go use a 20 and you get back a 5. The 5's got to go into that. The TikToker we watched saved every $5 bill he got over a 2-month span. Ended up saving $1,235. That's pretty cool.
That's a nice amount.
Yeah. You got to do it yourself for that one?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess my approach is it doesn't really matter which bill you pick. Just like all the other hacks, it can kind of be altered to fit your lifestyle and what is real for you. So, I could see saving dollar bills, if, change.
Well, a lot of people in the past have done the coins, right? Mm-hmm. All the coins goes into a jar, and once you accumulate the jar, you take it in, you turn it into dollar bills and put it in your savings account, right?
Right.
And there's places out there where they've got cash machines where you can go cash your change in, or you can do it the old-fashioned way, I guess, and
roll it up.
Just make sure you wash your hands afterwards, right?
It's so gross.
What's the next one, Nicole?
The next one was kind of a cool idea, too. This actually went viral. It's called Climbing the Savings Ladder.
Okay. You're saying the savings ladder when you're doing this. I'm thinking of the game in The Price is Right, where they go up the mountain. The little yodel lady. That guy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was thinking Chutes and Ladders.
I'm
but
aging myself.
I feel like
Okay. Wow.
With this one, it's all about your goal.
Okay.
So basically, there are 3 steps involved. You set yourself a reward goal. That could be like a pair of shoes. That could be a coffee.
Okay.
Or just something to reward yourself. And the step 2 to that is figuring out how much you need for that award. So
Okay.
if it's, the shoes, maybe it's $100. I don't know. So after you set that goal, so you've got the goal in mind, the amount you need to get there.
Okay.
And then the third step is setting yourself a goal that will be the triggering event that'll cause you to be able to cash in on that reward. So basically, if you say you want $100 for this pair of shoes that are your reward, but in order to cash in on the $100, you want to save $500 in your savings account.
Okay.
So then you're gonna build up your savings and save up to that $500. And once you reach that amount, then you reward yourself for reaching that amount, and kind of play
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So you find something you want, right? You save the money for that something, then don't reward yourself until you reach the secondary savings goal, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, it's pretty, we all go, oh, I need a new pair of shoes, and we go out and buy them.
Yeah.
When we could be saving and rewarding ourselves. So the idea is you start rewarding yourself for savings by buying the things you usually would just go buy and destroy
instant
your budget with,
gratification.
right? Yeah,
Exactly.
instant gratification. Yeah, very good one. There were some other trends too. One that I found was the 100-day savings challenge. I thought this was really cool. You write the numbers 1 to 100. So start with 1 all the way to 100. Put them on. You can put them on Post-it notes. You can put them on envelopes. You can put them on the little index cards. And each day you choose a number to mark off and place that amount in a container. So it's almost like an advent calendar. But you're putting the money. You're putting the money in a container. And when you're done, this is what's really amazing. You save over $5,000. It comes out to $5,050.
That's a lot
so
of money.
one day you pull it off and it's $2. So you save $2.
Right.
One day you pull it off and it's $50. You're like, okay, I have $50. But you do it for 100 days, and I think that's pretty cool. That's something I would, I teach my children that. And it doesn't have to be $100. You can start with lower numbers too.
Right.
Very cool. Did you find any others?
The other one I found was a $50 savings challenge, which will result in $2,600. Basically, the idea behind this is you save $50 a week for a year, so 52 weeks, and you end up, having the $2,600 to do whatever you wanted. The TikToker that I watched, she was actually going around her house and selling all of her unwanted items, and when she was clearing out her closet, she'd get $50 for, selling off an old anything.
That's it's kind of funny, and this is on topic but not completely on topic. My 10-year-old's, there's something he really wants to buy, and I'm like, I'm not buying it for you. So he comes to me like every second or third day and says, are there any extra chores I can do for money? And it's sort of like you yourself are creating those things for you to do,
right,
to pay yourself, which a lot of times we don't do, and I think it's a good strategy. So pretty cool. Yeah. So there are countless resources offering tips to increase your savings and obviously better chances of reaching your financial goals. But use a little bit of common sense to gauge that. We're on TikTok here. I don't think everything on TikTok we need to go by. There's a lot of things that TikTok said.
Oh yeah. They were freezing money. They were cooking it up in a pan.
Yeah, freeze your money. TikTok, like any other tool, is out there. And you've got to judge it, right?
Right.
It's like just because it's on TikTok and it says do this doesn't mean that's always the right thing. Anytime you get advice, even from us, stop and go, wait a minute, and check this out. Sometimes we get a little carried away, and especially I think about my children, and it's like, oh, I saw it on TikTok. Well, I hate to sound like the old,
a lot of things
I hate to sound like the old person, but does that mean you should do it, right?
Right.
So use a little common sense, and find ones that work for you and that work for you. And we found some of them that I really like. So let's recap a few of those. Our favorite ones. I really thought the climb the savings ladder was pretty cool. It's something that I could see us doing. What about you?
Well, I think the last digit transfer is really a neat idea because honestly, I don't carry a lot of cash. And so to say, I'm going to save a $5 bill or that I'm going to save so much of the money that I get each month or even to do the budget binder, I think they're great ideas in theory, but they're not really practical for my lifestyle. So to be able to look at my phone at the end of the day and be like, oh, my last transaction ended in a 5. I'm going to transfer $5 savings. That seems super easy.
And I like that you say that because so many of us have gone away from cash. So I think you've got to take the things that we've talked about and find out what works best for you. And I like that idea. I even like the idea of, okay, maybe you set up your Venmo account and you transfer it to your Venmo account for your reward. You put in the Venmo account. If you don't want to do it by cash, you do it that way. That way, in order to get that money out of your Venmo account, you got to go and you actually got to, take the time to do it, as opposed to just pulling out your debit card or your credit card. So you've got to be, there's that few extra steps you've got to take. So I'm not working for Venmo. It's just one of those things, that apps that are out there that we use, right?
Well, you're right, because we could even take 5 days and we transfer $5 a day for those transactions, and we'll hit that $25 mark, and it'll go to us, like if we're transferring to a save to win, because we'll have to have somewhere to put our savings,
right? Then
that $25 will potentially earn me more money,
right?
Because I've entered that amount to get me that new entry. So I think it's pretty cool.
Very good. Did you the other one we said was, we talked about the save your $5 or whatever your choice was. I think that's a great one to instill in your children at a young age. We've always done that with the coin jar. The $5 one's pretty cool as well. So just come up with little ways. And I am a big proponent of teaching your children at a young age. It's funny. The daughter just moved out, and we just had a discussion. She goes, I know I'm not following your advice right now. So, I do this for a living, and trust me, it's not always easy, but you got to just keep saying the same things over, and when they do a good job, let them know, right?
Right, exactly.
That doesn't just include our children, that includes ourselves.
Exactly. You need to, that positive reinforcement goes really far.
And the other one I found that was really cool, and maybe it's just because I like the amount, but it's the 100-day savings challenge. The idea of, you just pull back one of the cards, and today's $5, so there's the $5. To me, that's pretty cool, because I like chance. So it's sort of could be chance of it's $100 a day, or it could be it's only $2. But either way, I'm saving.
Exactly. And I mean you could start this a couple months out from Christmas and not have to worry about breaking the bank as far as making the payments on those Christmas purchases that you make in the future.
And I think we're about 100 days out right now, aren't we? Pretty close.
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, we're getting close. So now it's time to do it, because you're going to spend it one way or another. You might as well save for it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So bottom line, we want you to save.
Yes.
And
save, enjoy life. We go back to the facts you gave us. Everybody needs to have an emergency account. We don't want people carrying balances on their credit cards. We want you to save for retirement. These are just some of those ways to do that. At the same time, where you do get your advice, make sure, no matter who it's from, you're doing your research. So I like this. Great episode. Like I said, I'm not a TikToker, but I might be a FinToker. Carpe Dime is presented by Financial Center First Credit Union. It's produced by Jamie Davidson and Nicole Jackson.
Financial Center is an 8-time national award winner in the category of adult financial literacy, and our goal, as always, is to what, Jamie?
Help improve your financial life. To learn more, visit fcfcu.com.
Like what you hear? Subscribe to us on Google, iTunes, SoundCloud, the All Indiana Podcast Network, and Spotify.
Thanks, Nicole, and thank you for listening, everyone. Have a great day.